Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not
You will bring the jury.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
Got the wrong guy. The dog was biting him.
He roughened him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case.
Not him, he Anglican for he's verbal sloppy.
That's literally not true.
I didn't ask you to interrupt me.
Is that correct?
Oh, for Trump's sake.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. Good to have you all here, especially Greeners. Greeners, sorry, I'm like right in your face. Hey guys, how are you doing? This is so close. Never going to get used to that. I'm going to have to move it eventually. Just straightening out a few cables here. Pardon me. Pardon my reach. There we go. All right. Now we're back. We're back. Checklist. Click like. Put on your earmuffs. That's basically what's going to happen. Greeners, you're first in chat. We're going to send it to you to internet ownership. Everything IP related worldwide is your responsibility. Heather from Texas says, I won the internet in my head. It is what it is. I'm sorry. I apologize. I only have one to give away. But maybe Greeners will re-gift. Wait for 50 Shades of RA. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Please no. Please don't make that happen today. Oh wow! Okay. How's your lunch, everybody? I had a whole jar. I had a whole jar of spicy maple bourbon pickles. I broke it down into like a pre-lunch and then a lunch, late lunch. So I ate half of it, and then late lunch I ate the other half. So it wasn't like just one jar, just wolfing down a whole jar of pickles. The end result was the same. I ate them all myself, and they were delicious. But in the middle, I was on the phone with Yamaha customer support trying to get a keyboard issue fixed for my son. And it worked. In spite of them telling me I needed to buy something else, I said, no, I'm going to fix it. And I fixed it. And then I told them I fixed it. And they said, no, that shouldn't work. Well, it did. I fixed it. I might be pregnant. Baby's due on Friday. I'll be a grandpa. Yamaha not a sponsor. No, I'm actually disappointed. We liked the Yamaha P125 keyboard. My son's been using it. He learned the piano on it. And then the 225 is supposed to be an upgrade.
We're back on the record with the case on trial. Jurors are lining up.
It's not good. DSN, thank you very much. Happy birthday with the cupcake. The milk and the bowl. It's coming. DSN, it's coming. My cake is in the kitchen cooling, getting frosted as we speak. It should be delivered to me during this afternoon session. Hopefully with a bowl, milk, and spoon.
Why don't we have Sergeant Williams come back in?
YouTube today has changed how they pin messages. The pinned message is now on the bottom of my feed instead of the top. Have you guys noticed that? The pinned message stays at the bottom. I guess it makes it easier to read, but it does cause some problems for my chat window. What's the cake flavor? Yellow, extreme moist. I'm sorry, you can say moist with cake. Extreme moist yellow cake with milk chocolate frosting. That's the only time you can say moist and it's okay. Yellow's not but it is. I'll show you. Is she wearing a puffer vest? We'll all be.
You have to look right now. Just curious.
Still top for you. It's probably going to change. Although I'm in the test group where YouTube likes to throw stuff at us early to see if we complain. So sometimes I get it early. It's my husband's favorite cake. Try serving it to him in a bowl of milk upside down. He'll love you forever. Okay. If you've never had it before, it's soggy cake. It's so good. So good.
Be seated.
Mr. Scully, you may resume.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Okay, buckle up.
Good afternoon again,
this might
sir.
go off the rails.
Some more questions. I just want to circle back to the Fanta can that you had talked about earlier in your testimony. And you, if I recall correctly, the search warrant was being executed at Judy Church's home, right?
Yes.
She was there and brought back to the station for questioning, right? For an interview.
Yes.
And that was the interview that we saw the beginning of on your direct examination.
Yes.
And then did you testify that you yourself went back to the residence and in part to retrieve an orange soda can of some type?
I don't think I testified to that.
Okay. Did you do that?
Yes. I don't think I testified to it, but yes.
Okay. So you, at some point when Judy's interview was over, you left, went back to 108 Central Ave, right?
That's correct.
All right. The orange can of soda that you retrieved, where did you get that?
There was a cup holder, like right above Leroy's bed, and it had an open orange soda can in it.
Okay. Was there one or two?
Over his bed, there's one.
Was there a second one in the room?
I believe there was one. I guess so. If you walk in the door and you're looking at his bed, then there's also one here.
Okay. So the one on the left?
Yeah, left and right's over the bed. Left is not over the bed.
Could we pull up, please, Exhibit 29?
I'm counting that. That was half a cough, but it was a good effort. We're counting it.
Okay.
Not twice, though.
Pulled up Exhibit 29, which includes one of
Heather,
the
thank you
photographs
so
of the
much.
front room where Leroy Fowler occupied things, right?
Yes.
Kaylee,
And is it
thank you.
fair to say that in the foreground in the right, you can see a orange can?
Yes.
That Fanta?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Is that the one you took?
Yes.
Okay. And then you can see on the left an orange can. Is that also Fanta?
Yes.
Did you take that one?
No, I took the one on the right.
What happened to the one on the left?
That one was left to the residence.
It was left there. Okay. Now, were there any other Fanta cans that you remember coming across during your search of that house?
For me personally?
Yeah.
No. So I went in and took that one can.
Can we fast forward a few screens to the Fanta and the recycle? So we're scrolling through Exhibit 29 for the record. Okay.
Oh, yes.
So there's a recycle bin now, which is one of the photographs in that series from Exhibit 29, which was taken when the search warrant was being executed. Do you see that?
Yes.
Is that inside the house or outside? Do you know?
That looks inside.
Okay, and there's a Fanta can right there, right?
Yes.
Was that taken? Do you know?
No.
Was there anything in that?
I didn't search that trash can.
Okay. All right, so the Fanta that you took came back to made its back way to the evidence collection area, made its way to the crime lab, made its way to sample being taken out of it and sent to NMS for testing, right?
That's correct.
And we talked a little bit earlier how there was, and there'll be probably an NMS witness eventually, but some interference or the like. The test was inconclusive on some level, right?
Yes.
Test for ethylene glycol. Okay. Now, you testified on direct examination and through your testimony, Exhibit 38, which was a photograph of a cup on a wall, came in. Remember that?
Yeah, the orange cup. That's correct. Yep.
Orange, right? Do I need assistance here to make this go?
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize, Mr. Scully. I didn't know you were moving to the document camera.
No,
Thank
no
you.
worries. Thank you. Okay, so on the document camera, there's a cup and a cup holder, right?
Yes.
That's red, though.
No, that is not red. That is 100% orange.
That's 100% orange.
Yes.
Judge, may I publish this off the screen and hand to the jury?
That's red, though.
Alongside
That's orange.
Exhibit 51.
It's a gray dress. No, it's blue.
You want to hand the document that was just on the camera to the jury to see
I
it?
just want to show it to them. I just want to hold it the
Oh.
old-fashioned way and publish it.
You may.
Well, first I'll just ask the witness if I may approach.
Go ahead.
So I've got Exhibit 51, which is one of the pictures of the Powerade. That's orange in there, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then I've got Exhibit 38, which is the cup you were just talking about. That's red in there, right?
No, that's. Let me see. It's orange. And can I hold it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sweet. Yeah, that's orange.
Okay, can I just publish this?
You may.
Judge?
It's orange. The flag is red, sir. The flag is red. That's like fruit punch red on the flag.
Yes, sir.
Clarification on what exhibit it is that we're looking at there.
Well, we can ask the witness to clarify. If you would just clarify, Mr. Scully.
Fair to say that the photograph of the cup is Exhibit 38, which was a photo taken off of Judy Church's phone when you searched it.
Yes.
And the other was a photograph of the Powerade bottle that was taken by your crime scene folks.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Also introduced through your testimony on direct exam was Exhibit number 39 and 40, 41, and 42, which were photographs basically of pictures taken off of Judy Church's cell phone that were also pictures of Barbara and Leroy in some fashion together, right?
Yes.
Well, Exhibit 39, that photograph was taken in August of 2020. Is that correct?
Yes.
Let me just show you so you don't have to guess.
He said yes. He didn't guess.
Exhibit 39 was taken in 2020, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And Exhibit 41, which is another one of those photographs, and they were shown on direct examination. When was that taken?
August 8th, 2020.
2020. And then 42 was also taken, a smiling picture of Barbara and Leroy, right? That was also taken in August of 2020, right?
Yep, August 4th, 2020.
Okay, so those are over 2 years before the incident in this case that you were investigating, right?
Yes.
You also testified about some notes apps, including reading directly a couple. And my recollection is one of the ones you read out loud was marked Exhibit 43. And this one says, I never want to see your C scratched, C gouged, C sliced. see bashed, etc. face, right? Remember that one?
Yes.
And you read it
That was a
full
close
on,
call.
right?
Yes.
Okay,
Full
well,
on.
this
Full.
is from the notes section, right?
Yes.
And obviously, it says it was modified May 4th of 2021,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Do you recall it that way, or do you want me to come up?
I take your word at it. That's, yep.
Okay, May 4th, 2021. So well over a year before the incident you were investigating.
Yes.
That's when it was modified, not necessarily when it was written in its entirety, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then Exhibit 44, I don't think you read anything from. It's another long notes section. It doesn't have any date or time on it, right?
Yes.
So we don't know when that was written, right?
Yes.
Exhibit 45 was another notes section from Judy's phone where she was typing into it, and that was modified May 21st, 2019.
Yes.
Exhibit 46 that you
She's been drafting this
read
for years.
again, and it referenced Florida, has no date on it at all.
Yes.
And they made multiple trips to Florida. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Exhibit 47 was the text message from Judy to her friend Malachi Barry, right?
Yes.
And that started out, I'm going to put this on the screen. That started out with a LOL, right? Laugh out loud.
I might be missing it. Where's the LOL? Oh,
Says
are you talking about the virgin's overrated law?
Right.
Got it. Yes, I see the law.
It says virgins overrated, LOL. And then Judy says something about, I wish I could actually sting and poison someone to death. Got one picked out if that's the case, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Did he say versions? Like what version is that? I think he said version.
And prior to that, so it's talking about stinging. And prior to that, she had referenced being a Scorpio, right? Scorpio to the world, right? And then asked, you're a Virgo, right?
Yes.
Okay. And Judy's sign was Scorpio, right?
I don't know the signs, but I'll take your word for it.
Well, does it sound right that her birth date is November 18th, 1958?
Sounds right.
Yeah, that's correct. Correct?
Yep.
All right. So knowing that refreshing your memory that her birthday is then, does that sound like the sign of Scorpio to your knowledge?
I'm going to be honest. I don't know the signs.
She's-
I don't even know what mine is. So
We can rely on a juror's general life experiences. Some will know, some won't. I
Okay.
only know if it's my own sign.
All right. And you know she had a rival in this whole triangle that was Barbara, right?
Yes.
And she threw a lot of shade talk in Barbara's direction, right?
Yes.
Called her vile words, said a lot of things, right?
One word in particular.
But actually, they barely ever interacted.
But when
Based on what I know, I would agree with that.
But when they did, fireworks.
And that person she could sting, we don't know who that is, right?
No, she doesn't give us a name.
Okay.
We do now.
You also introduced your direct examination exhibit 49, And this was the Google search, right? And the Google search was for online doctors help.com, right?
Yes.
That's what popped up. And then when you pull up a website, there's a URL behind it, correct?
Yes.
And so you don't necessarily see or choose the URL that you're looking at.
No.
Right. You look at the website, this is the information, and in this case, it's online doctor US help, right?
Yes.
.com. Okay. And this was dated, this search was dated July 27th, 2021.
Yes.
So again, well over a year before any of the specific incident you were investigating in November of 2022.
Yes.
And there's no evidence that she even saw this lengthy URL behind it, or much less typed it out, other than it popped up on her phone as part of this website.
Yes.
You're also aware that Leroy Fowler had a number, an extensive, actually, set of medical problems. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Did you ever look at his medical records?
Yes.
Okay. So did you become aware that as far back as 2015, he was suffering from depression?
I'm not sure if we had, I think, 3 hospitals worth of medical records. I can't recall every word that was in the, 1,000+ pages.
Well, I'm not going to show you all the medical records, but I'll show you that one in case it refreshes your memory, okay?
Yes.
Because you were also asking folks in the course of your investigation about whether Leroy was depressed, right?
Yes.
And Mr. Prosecutor, I'm going to display Exhibit 8, page 64. 3, 4. Yeah, generated depression. Thank you.
Have we seen that sidebar, Judge?
Yes.
All right, as we get a little sidebar here. The state's not happy with the direction this is going. I don't think we're out of the woods yet, unfortunately. There's still a very high likelihood that this witness will lead us through some, I would not say text messages, and it has an extra S in there, but one fewer T. Some messages that Judy and Leroy exchanged. And how gracefully and delicately he leads us through this will change the entire day for us. Oh. Let's see how long they're going to talk here on the side. Give them a minute to come back. The mods are sweating bullets right now. I know, because I am too. Let's see. Defense wants to use the messages to prove that Judy and Leroy were happily engaged. Their idea is that these messages are not the sort of messages you would get from someone who was homicidal, who had plans for later that day or, in the next 24 hours to eliminate one's significant other. You wouldn't get this stuff. I don't know. I think for those of us that listened to Judy this morning in the audio recording of her little discussion with the police officers when she recounted how the morning went and what she inserted there in the story, maybe that is something that she would. I'm just saying she just might be her type. Love this. Trial says Pentaflay, not what happened to Leroy, just how interesting it is. Sad to miss the morning live with you. We'll catch up. Don't Pentaflay. Not in public. Maybe on high speed. Turn the volume way down. Not for kids. You can cut the tension with a text message. Use headphones for sure. True Crime Meltdown says, I went back and watched the reading of their notes after the cupcake during lunch, and that was absolutely abrupt. Shocking in your face. There will be AI remix soon. Sure. I'm sure there will. Oh, my goodness. Use headphones for maximum effect. It comes out of nowhere. They just, there was, usually, there's at least, Judge, can we approach? Because we're at that point, right, where we're going to bring in this spicy stuff. We just want to make sure we've done everything right and we're all good. Judge, are we on board? Usually there's a sidebar or something just to segue into it, not just here's a nice picture of a cupcake. Read the letter. Boom. Cupcake is your warning. It's right after the cupcake incident, which is bad. I mean, we were talking about the cupcake incident. We're just like, what just happened? We were shocked. We're like, who does that? Puts a cupcake on their passed out partner's chest, and then photographs them. Here he is in the hospital. I have my cake, and I'm eating it too. I don't know what you're supposed to gather from that picture.
Make a point. When you, for example, hear Sergeant Williams, who was a lead investigator, being questioned about, for example, Mr. Fowler's medical condition and what the medical records might have reflected and what he was aware of the medical records reflecting. Bear in mind, he's not testifying as a medical expert. He's not testifying or opining, that is offering an opinion on Mr. Fowler's medical condition at the time of the events in question. These questions are being put to him with respect to one particular issue, which is open in every criminal case, which is the jury's consideration of the completeness, the thoroughness, the adequacy of the police investigation based on the information that they either were aware of or should have been aware of. So you'll hear much questioning about whether the sergeant knew something and how that might have affected what investigative decisions were made, what steps were taken or were not taken. That's all fair for you to consider again in terms of the adequacy of the investigation, which itself is something that you may consider in determining whether the Commonwealth proves a charge beyond a reasonable doubt. But you should bear that in mind. That's really the nature of this type of questioning and what it goes to for your purposes. Go ahead, Mr. Scully.
Thank you again, Your Honor. So, what I'm just going to show you here is Exhibit 8, which has been marked, and these are medical records of Leroy Fowler from his medical care at Coastal Medical Associates and other places. See if this works. Oh, I got to go this way. Okay, I'm going to turn it. Okay, and you see item number 9 there?
Yes.
Okay, that says depression, situational, right?
Yes.
And that's under the title of assessments, right?
Yes.
And the page is 64 out of 66, right?
Yes.
And the page before that identifies this as a coastal medical record. Right there, right? Progress notes from Dr. Grover Jackson, right?
Yes.
Okay. So my question to you is, had you had been asking individuals whether or not Leroy was known to be depressed or the like, right?
Yes.
Including Judy Church, I believe.
Yes.
Were you aware of that particular diagnosis? Did you become aware of that at some point?
Yes, I read through the documents, but so I was aware of it, yes.
Okay, so that's something that you knew. And going back to Ms. Church had done a Google search for a doctor help site, right? And is it fair to say, to your knowledge, if it is, that Mr. Fowler had been complaining of abdominal pain as far back as 2017?
I know he had been complaining about like that. I can't put my finger on the year, but I know that was like a common theme across the interviews.
Okay. And that he had actually been diagnosed with chronic pain syndrome, did you know, in 2018?
Yes, again, I read through the medical documents.
Okay. And he continued to have back problems and hip problems and stomach problems and many problems for a long time, right?
Yes.
Okay. Judge, could I ask that the text messages from November be marked as an exhibit, the ones that are coming in as an exhibit?
Oh, yes. The ones we discussed earlier.
Yes.
All right, we'll mark those as an exhibit.
Did we mark that N, Your Honor?
They were previously marked as N.
N for naughty.
I just want to make sure.
Yes. Yes. No, it was the ones that were earlier. Oh, I may have them here. Let me just see.
Judge is like, I took them home last night. Here they are. I was reading them.
I have them here.
Some light reading. I've got them up on my desk. Why, Judge?
Here you go, Ms. Draper. They were previously marked for identification. As what letters on those right now? I.
So this will be 53?
Can I just take a look before they get...
Yes, you may.
You can put them right on the table, Mr. Thank you.
Same objection, Judge.
Yes.
Okay. Could I collect those?
They were put up there.
They're right on the table.
Okay. So, part of what you collected through the search warrant of Judy's phone were recent text messages between her and Leroy Fowler in November of 2022, right?
Yes.
So this is them talking to each other back and forth via text in the lead up to the incident that you're investigating, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, including that there were text messages that focused on the night of November 10th, which is the night before Leroy's birthday, and the incident and the 911 call, which was the morning of November 11th, right?
Yes.
Okay. Those text messages been marked Exhibit 53. And you're generally familiar with these, right?
Yes.
These were something you specifically looked at during your investigation. In fact, you asked to specifically have a time period that included this time, right?
Yes.
To shed some light on what was going on between them, right?
Yes.
Were they fighting? Were they getting along? Was there evidence of animosity or homicidal intent or something like that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to read every single text message.
Please.
You're aware that many of them are explicit sexual messages,
Yes.
right? And there were messages sent from Leroy to Judy at 9 o'clock at night on November 10th, which is the night before, right?
Yes.
And again at 9:30, right?
Yes.
And again at 9:54,
Yes.
10:23,
Yes.
10:38,
Yes.
10:43,
Yes.
10:51,
Yes.
11:21,
Yes.
11:40,
Yes.
11:52, and actually one at 11:59, right?
Yes.
So these were all messages, and Judy was replying to these messages, right?
Yes.
And essentially what Leroy was doing was he was creating sort of a sexual, seemed like a fantasy scenario. Is that fair to say?
I agree.
Like imagine if you would do this, Judy, and then there'd be some pretty explicit language, right?
Yes.
And links to photographs or other things, right?
Yes.
And a lot of Judy's responses were along the lines of, yes, hon, that would be great. I would love to do that type of responses, right?
Get a content warning.
Yes.
There we go.
And they continued with less frequency, but they continued through the morning hours of November 11th, right?
Yes.
There were text messages at 12:30 a.m., right?
Yes.
2:18 a.m.,
Yes.
2:40 a.m.,
Yes.
3:45 a.m.,
Yes.
4:52 a.m.,
Yes.
5:07 a.m.,
Yes.
Let me see if I got the last one here. That's what I want to get to. Okay. So it looks like the last message that was sent was by Leroy to Judy at 5:27 a.m., right?
Yes.
And Judy, it's the same pattern, right, of kind of, how's this for a sexy idea of some sort?
Yes.
And then she would reply all the way through, right?
Yes.
And this was his birthday, right?
Yes.
And in fact, those
my
text messages corroborated what she told you about him coming down the hall early in the morning, 6:30, right?
Yes.
She mentioned she had some kind of intimate relations. Didn't want to go into the details, right?
Yes.
Okay. And the other thing about these messages from Leroy to her is they are all coherent in their sort of physical execution, right?
Yes.
So he's got this little black iPhone which gets taken as an exhibit, taken as evidence, now as an exhibit, right?
Yes.
And what he's doing throughout this whole time period is successfully manipulating that phone, typing out words, right?
Yes.
Putting together links, right?
Yes.
Staying on theme and topic, right?
Yes.
And there's no obvious signs of impairment, right?
I mean, there's a bunch of typos. I don't know if I can say he's
Right, there's
not.
typos.
I don't know if I can say he's not impaired, because you can be impaired and still string a message.
Let me stop you there for a moment.
Yes,
Because, speak of impairment, I think some of our jurors are starting to struggle a little bit. Let's stand up and take a stretch break, folks.
Someone fell asleep.
And as I said earlier, I've been in your position in a pretend trial, and it's really hard, and it's particularly hard after lunch. These afternoons are long, and
I've
they're a
been in-
challenge for everybody.
I've been in your position in the pretend trial, so I know what it's like. Somebody had a good healthy lunch, good old turkey sub sandwich, and tryptophan kicking in. We've only been here for 35 minutes after
Stretching
lunch.
will be good enough, or does anybody feel like maybe they need a quick break? Because I think we're pressing through and making progress, including with Sergeant Williams.
I would agree.
All right. You want to try jumping jacks? Make us do?
Was somebody
Make the
snoring?
jurors do? Okay. Now, if anybody needs a real slap in the face, ask the person sitting next to you. I won't lay hands on any judge.
Oh, my goodness.
All right.
They're about
Thank
to
you,
be
Your Honor. I
woken up.
also benefited from that break, so I appreciate that. And I only
It's
have...
not a commentary on you, Mr. Scully, I'm sure.
Thank you.
It sort of is.
So I only have a few more questions, which were that follow-up to, yes, there's typos in these text messages, but nothing where somebody, falls asleep with their thumb on a number or, sends an R, you see some of that happen, right?
Yes, there's nothing indicating he's like
Right.
blackout drunk or anything.
Right. And a few hours later, we see him on the videotapes that Judy made and on the body-worn camera, and he's completely, he's in trouble at that point, dexterity-wise. He can barely move around, right?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a big gap between what he appears to have been accomplishing up until 5:30 and what he looked like for sure on the video not long after.
I would agree.
Okay. The last thing that I want to ask you about is through
I think he skipped
your exhibits, you showed
skip the spicy stuff.
many images that you picked from Judy's phone and photographs and the like. And I'm wondering if you came across something on her phone that was entitled video montage with music entitled Together Over the Years. And it was a series of photographs and set to music that were all of her and Leroy sort of in happy and good times. Did you come across that?
You said it's a video?
It is a video, and it has still photographs for the most part and music. Do you recall that? And it has specifically this caption, Together Over the Years. It's one of those kind of things that people make.
She had a lot of photos and videos. That one's not ringing a bell, but I do believe for videos I could only look at the November 11th day. It was photos. I could look at all photos for the drinks. So I don't know if I saw that video to stay within the search warrant.
Okay. I would move this in as the next exhibit, Judge. I'm not asking to play it at this time.
Mr. Camellia.
Objection, Judge. I don't.
All right, I'll see counsel at sidebar.
As they go to sidebar, I think the prosecutor's, I won't say it was a bluff. The move he pulled yesterday might have just saved us from some very, very spicy readings of text messages, because the prosecution did not want those explicit messages to come in. Defense wanted to show that, these messages will show that they were in a relationship that was, going places and doing things and not homicidal in nature. Prosecution fought and fought and fought and lost. And the defense says, yeah, I think you're allowed to bring them in. And so prosecution flipped and said, Judge, if they're going to bring some of those in, those messages to paint this picture of Judy and the relationship that she was having with Leroy, we want everything in, all of them, the good and the bad. We want the whole thing for a complete picture, basically the rule of completeness. And it was that move that made the defense, I believe, say we're not going to read any of them. We'll just summarize what they are with the detective and move on. So they get sort of the benefit of
Thank you,
knowing
sir.
what
I
they
have
are
no
without
further
reading
questions.
them.
Thank you.
He's done.
Mr. Camellia.
Thank you,
Yes,
Judge.
for
Just
my
a
birthday.
couple of things I want to try to clear up, sir. At the beginning of the cross-examination, you were asked some questions about, the color of the liquid and the Powerade and how, believe it was antifreeze, might be able to get into a bottle like that. Do you remember those questions?
Yes.
Okay. And so the question that I want to ask you, sir, is during the course of your investigation, did you do some research into other types of other antifreeze poisoning cases?
Yes.
Okay. And what was the number one
Objection, Judge.
I'll see counsel at sidebar.
Yeah, I think this was the right move for sure. Defense got the most mileage they could from that without also exposing their client to looking bad through that. I think it did save Leroy, I guess, some humiliation, after the fact, because these are messages that he never intended to be published, for sure. Let's see. Griffin, by the way, welcome. We occasionally do have family members of people in court with us. We try to be respectful through all of this for that reason. Thank you. I hope you're welcome here, and appreciate the insight you've provided in this one. Let's see. The defense would be outraged. The jury made Judy look terrible. Yeah, they're going to be in the record. Okay, they're in there, and honestly, if the jury chooses that they want to read them during deliberation, they'll just say pull up Exhibit 53. I want to see Exhibit 53, and it probably will be in there. I'm not sure. Not all. Sometimes exhibits don't all go back there, but it's probably going to be available for that. It was marked as N and then 53, so I think they're coming in. Let's see.
I saw a chicken fight.
Saw a chicken fighting. Some sound effects here. A lot of sidebars today for the judge, considering the judge said, I'm sick. No sidebars today.
Hello?
I was just shocked. I think the most surprising thing that came in today, well, first of all, Judy's foul mouth was the most surprising, but the text message about wanting to poison somebody and having them in mind already, having someone in mind. That means somebody she knows, okay? That's not like, oh, I hope to meet some random person and poison them just for the, I shot a man just to watch him die sort of thing from the song. It was I have someone in mind I would like to poison. I would like that experience to have poisoned someone. That was just, I don't know how you can walk around that as a defense counsel and just be like, it wasn't her. It's looking a little bit like it was. It's looking just a little bit like it was. Maybe she wanted to poison Barb. I don't think there was any sign. They almost never interacted, right? They barely saw each other, ever. I think she was more upset at Leroy than she was at Barb. She didn't like Barb at all, but she would take it out on Leroy, I think. Will we reach 600 coughs? Possibly today. We'll see. We're already about 2:51. They end about 4:30. Someone fell asleep. We think one of the jurors was probably nodding off, just a little post-lunch siesta. The judge caught it, which is great. The judge is supposed to keep an eye on that. It would not be fair for the victim or for the defendant for the jury to sleep through important parts of the trial, which is anytime evidence is being presented, and then not have a complete picture to deliberate from. So it's the right move to stand up and basically call courtroom yoga break. I feel so much better now that the defense handled those text messages that way. Will they finish that video? They will. Camilla, what they're trying to do is finish the testimony with this particular officer, with Sergeant Lewis Williams. Once he is done, He has training tomorrow that he can't miss. I don't know what it is. I guess it's like recertification or something, but he can't miss tomorrow's training. And so he needs to be done today, and we're trying to get through his testimony. Once he's done, we'll go back and just play the rest of this probably tomorrow, maybe the end of the day today if he gets done early. One guy got poisoned, so who do you think she meant, Leroy? Yeah, it's sort of looking one direction. Is there much left of this trial? There's some. We're not done. We're not done for sure. And of course, defense gets a shot if they choose to. He's the only witness today, but they might finish with him a little early. Let's see. Mary says it's hard to please us. Either we're bored senseless or we're covering our ears. There's no happy medium for some of y'all. Can they call a mistrial if somebody's called? I don't know if they'd call a mistrial. What would most likely happen if a juror fell asleep, especially if it repeatedly happened and it wasn't caught for some period of time, that juror would probably be dismissed. It's one of the reasons why we have alternates. That's one of the reasons a juror can get dismissed, is they're not listening to the evidence. That's what they're instructed to do. You're supposed to listen to the evidence. If they're not listening, out you go. The state is expected to be done with their case by Thursday. That we found that out yesterday. Okay, still waiting for this sidebar to end. There you go.
Jurors, following up with what I told you regarding questioning that was being put to Sergeant Williams by Mr. Scully regarding certain things he may have known or decisions he made, that you may consider those in terms of assessing the adequacy, the completeness, the thoroughness of the investigation. The same is true of questions that are being put to him on redirect, asking him what he may have known and why he may have chosen to do this, that, or the other thing. So, for example, I'm about to allow him to answer a question that was put to him right when the objection was made about something that he may have learned about looking at other cases or reading some background information, perhaps on ethylene glycol poisoning. It's important for you to understand that if whatever he may relate that he came to understand, that's not admissible for you, for your purposes, as proof that that's actually accurate. It goes to what Sergeant Williams tells you he knew and how that informed the decisions he made, what he chose to do, what he chose not to do, and you assess all of that in considering, again, your view of the adequacy and thoroughness of the investigation. But when he's relating that kind of information, it is not admitted for the truth of whatever he's telling you he may have learned. With that,
thank you, Judge.
You may put the question.
During the course of the investigation, sir, did you look into how antifreeze or ethylene glycol can be hidden in beverages?
Yes.
And what did you learn during the course of your looking into that issue?
We had seen previous cases where sweet drinks were used to mask antifreeze and successfully kill someone.
Now, you were asked some questions on cross about why no testing for a bittering agent was done. You remember those questions?
Yes.
Why did you ultimately decide that bittering agents did not need to be tested for?
So there's a few reasons. One, Leroy Fowler drank the drink, so we don't think he was alerted to the flavor. Two, he had cocaine, in his system from the autopsy, so that could indicate some level of impairment. And perhaps, if you snort cocaine, what that could do to your taste.
Objection.
Overruled. Again, this is the kind of information I was just talking about. It's this isn't admitted for the truth of whatever Sergeant Williams may have been supposing about the effects of cocaine. This was his thinking as it bore on his decision. That's what he's being asked about. Why did you decide not to test for a bittering agent? That's been put into issue here. He's giving you his explanation. You may consider it as you evaluate his explanation and evaluate the decisions that he made investigatively, this one and others. But this is not proof that, for example, if one is snorting cocaine, they are not able to taste a bittering agent. This is not proof of that. Go ahead.
What else, sir?
The other that we knew from the testing that it was a cut drink. So it wasn't, this isn't a 1-for-1 ratio of picking up a bottle of antifreeze and drinking it, and therefore drinking out of this red Powerade bottle is identical in taste and flavor. So that comparison is, it's not 1-for-1.
When you say 1-for-1, do you mean he wasn't drinking straight antifreeze?
Yes. Yeah. He wasn't drinking straight antifreeze. We also came across studies from poison control that the introduction of Bittrex, these are actual studies.
It's the same limitation. Unless and until these studies are put in front of you in a proper admissible form, what the sergeant's about to tell you about what he may have learned is not proof that that's in fact what these studies show or that's what science shows. It goes to what Sergeant Williams understood and believed at the time and how that impacted his investigative decision making.
I think the defense kicked the door
Thank
open
you,
on
Honor.
this.
In these studies from poison control stated that accidental ingestions were not reduced once Bittrex was involved. There's actually been no data to support like a dramatic decline in once Bittrex was in antifreeze, all of a sudden people weren't accidentally ingesting it. It's just been the same across the board. And then we also talked about there's just no control group studies for this. That's something that doesn't exist.
When you say there's no control group studies for this, there's no control group studies where people are purposely given antifreeze to see what it tastes like is what you're referring to, whether it has bittering agent in it or not.
Yes. So ultimately with all those, it was clear to us that comparing this bottle to him drinking straight out of a bottle of antifreeze and he would have tasted the bitterness and been alerted right away, they're not comparable.
Thank you. During the course of your investigation, did any witness that you spoke to ever suggest that Leroy Fowler was suicidal?
No.
Did you find anything at the home of Mr. Fowler and Ms. Church that suggested to you that suicide was at play here?
No.
During the course of the search conducted first by the team that you were working with and then when you went back to the home, was antifreeze itself outside of the power bottle ever found, like a bottle of antifreeze itself?
No.
I think you made this clear on cross, but just so it is clear, when you gave the remaining liquid that was in the Powerade bottle to the defense investigator when required to do so, fair?
Yes.
That's devastating redirect to the defense.
Yeah. Now, well, finally, sir, you were asked a couple of questions about exhibit. I think it was 38. Mr. Scully might still. Oh, it's still back here, I think.
Just don't say 53.
Yeah, exhibit 38, which you. This is the cup that was on the side of the bed that was photograph taken off of Miss Church's phone from August 26, 2022. Remember those questions?
Yes.
Okay. And obviously, sometimes when pictures get printed out, that affects them. You had the opportunity to actually look at that picture directly on Miss Church's phone, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And when you looked at it on the phone, any question in your mind that was orange?
Zero question. It's orange.
Okay. And then We do have a digital copy of that photograph that we could try to display for the jury and put it up on the monitors. And again, looking at that, sir, any question in your mind that is orange?
It's orange.
Thank you.
No, we'll never know. This witness gives the way he holds his head to the side and holds his mouth closed reminds me of James Spader, just a tiny bit. He's got some of the same mannerisms.
I just have 1 second, Judge.
Yes, you may.
And the short hair helps as well. Like the blacklist
Thank you,
version
Judge.
of James Spader.
Mr. Scully,
Just a few questions, if I may, Judge.
you may.
So, just a few more questions. So, you mentioned on redirect, that you considered some factors as to why not to test for the bittering agent, right?
Yes.
But you didn't know that there was a bittering agent or could be a bittering agent until either 2023 or even 2024 in this case, right?
Well, again, like I said,
Well, wait, that should be a yes or no. Like you didn't know.
I did clarify my answer, though, when you said 2023 or 2024, and I just said both years because I couldn't remember the exact time, and I'm under oath, and I just want to make sure I have it right. But then I said, it was relatively early in the investigation, so 2023.
It was 2023? When?
Like I said, I've been consistent. I don't know the date of when in 2023.
How did you find out?
I didn't find out the date. I'm not saying I know the date.
How did you find out about the bittering agent? Like what alerted you?
Oh, sorry. We had talked to like the OCME, all of our research. We've read the ingredients. Again, I didn't write a report that like I discovered there's bittering agent on this day. It just came up.
So it came up, but
yes.
It wasn't significant enough for you to write a report.
No, we had discussed, like I just stated, we had discussions about why we didn't test for it. I gave the reasons.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm now asking you, when you learned about it, did you write a report?
About Bitrix? No, I'm not a chemist, a scientist. Can't.
You're
tell
now
you
claiming
Bitrix
in
is.
2023 you were aware that there may be a bittering agent in the sample that was being sent to NMS laboratory, right?
Well, I'm not now claiming. I've said that since the beginning.
Okay. Did you alert NMS?
Did I alert NMS to the ingredients of what
You
they
say
were testing?
there might be a bittering agent. Can you check for that?
No, I just said that we determined we weren't going to test for it, so we didn't request them to test for it.
Okay. Did you have an email exchange with the prosecutor about that?
No.
Was it a verbal?
Verbal.
Yeah. Okay. And you also testified that cocaine in the system can affect somebody's taste, right?
Yes.
And that you testified that there were studies from poison control that were suggesting that even though the bittering agent has been introduced over the last 10 years or so, there are still a high number of accidental ingestions, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what the Massachusetts law calls for when it comes to antifreeze is that there's a sufficient amount to make it unpalatable, right?
That's the verbiage in the law. That's correct.
And they come to an amount, 30 parts per million to 50 parts per million, in order to get to it, make it unpalatable, right?
Yes, that's what they say.
All right, so unpalatable. That doesn't mean that someone couldn't sweeten it up and chug it down if they wanted to, right?
That it's unpalatable doesn't mean someone couldn't sweeten it up.
And chug it down.
Could a person can drink whatever they want.
Right. They can get through it if they wanted, right? Now, you also testified, now we showed that we'll strike that. You also testified that you had reviewed previous cases where sweet drinks were used to mask antifreeze, right?
Yes.
Okay. What were the name of those cases?
I don't know the, like Commonwealth verse. I don't know all the case names. We had talked
Name
about.
one.
There's one in 2023. I forget what state. It was like a woman using sweet tea. If you Google it, she used antifreeze.
Okay, there's one. What about the other one? Any others?
I didn't write down
Mark Jensen.
other cases. I don't know them off the top of my head.
You're saying that you're, in part here, that this is a basis for the decisions you're making are these previous cases. And you've got some case that you Googled up in 2023, you think. You don't know what state. Some woman, you don't know what her name is, right?
If you Google antifreeze poisoning cases, there's cases.
Yeah, but I'm asking you, if you used it as a decision-making factor in your mind, what are they? What are the cases?
I don't know the case numbers off the top of my head, but again, if you Google it, you will see.
Yeah, but the problem is every case is different, right? Those cases didn't involve Judy Church, right? They didn't involve Leroy Fowler, right?
No.
We don't know if they didn't involve Rain-X, right?
No, we looked up antifreeze cases.
Antifreeze cases, but you can't name the case or the person's name or the jurisdiction, right?
That doesn't mean they didn't happen.
I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying that they're totally different situations compared to this unique case you have.
Honestly, antifreeze in a sweet drink, it kind of sounds identical to me.
It does, right? But she deserved a better investigation. No further questions.
All right. Well, that's stricken because that's not a question. But that concludes the examination.
Sua sponte, the judge says that you don't end like that.
Do we have one more?
What?
Yeah.
No.
Do you have anything else?
Oh, no, Judge, thank you.
He already went twice.
Very good.
I think
All right. Thank you very much. All right,
Thank you, Your Honor.
step down. I'm just going to check in with counsel before I let you go for the day just to see where things stand.
That was our last witness for the day. So they're going to go sidebar for a little bit. Strike that comment. She deserved a better investigation. Okay, the defense has been saying this all along. That this Bowden defense, the police did not do their due diligence. They walked in, they saw the cup, and the Rain-X bottle, and they said case closed. And then the only thing they did from then on is just to find anything that would support that theory. It's not true. It just isn't true. They looked at all sorts of things. It's just all the evidence pointed that direction. And you want them to have found something else or to, done more to disprove that, but that's not how investigations work. You don't try to disprove every single theory out there. You let the evidence guide you, and they did. And it guided them right here to this courtroom with her sitting her butt in the defense chair and an orange bottle of Powerade that should have been red sitting on the evidence table. That is what led them to this. And of course, the bittering agent. This is something the defense has been pounding on from the very beginning, saying there's no way she could have poisoned him with antifreeze because it has bittering stuff in it. Ta-da! No one could have drunk that. He would have been like, oh, yuck, that's terrible. I'm not going to drink that. It's bitter. It's not that good. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. Masking it works. He had stuff in his system that would have caused problems. We've had testimony that he had just, had been through COVID and had lasting effects of, loss of taste. Guess what? It's a thing. Okay, like it or not, it's a thing. It's a thing that happened. I've experienced it myself. It's a thing. And if you have those conditions that exist, it is very possible for somebody to drink something that normally, with no other factors involved, they would taste and be like, whoa, something's wrong there. That's bad. That does not taste right. And completely miss it. Completely miss it, which I think he did. Griffin, thank you. We heard that testimony. He couldn't taste Griffin as Leroy's son, by the way. Thank you for joining us here in chat. My father couldn't taste anything after COVID. He complained about it all the time. You've got smoking cigarettes. If there's drug use that's involved, we heard from the officer that could have caused a problem. You've got the COVID. Add those three together, plus mask it with the familiar taste, and it only takes a little bit. It only takes a little bit. Cindy, enjoy the moment. Just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much, Cindy. Some great people, especially number 1. Mr. Aaron Sparrow. Mr. Aaron Sparrow. Congratulations. Gifted membership. Thanks, Aaron.
Last witnesses, the medical examiner is not available till Thursday, but they will probably get through all of their other witnesses tomorrow. If we end up ending early, I thought we were going to end up earlier today than we did, but if we end up ending early, that's because we're just one witness shy of the Commonwealth completing its case, and its last witness, the medical examiners, you might imagine, are fairly busy, and they're going to lots of different courts in between doing their actual work as medical examiners. So the medical examiner is not available till Thursday morning. Commonwealth expects that we'll rest at that point, and that's when the defense case will begin. So we're moving right along. We're in good shape in terms of completing this case, getting the evidence all done over the next several days. So I want to thank you all for your time and attention today.
Are we coming back tomorrow?
We're struggling with your attention. As I told you, there's absolutely no shame in that. It's completely understandable. So you know the drill. Until we see each other again tomorrow, do not discuss the substance of this case with anyone, including among yourselves, and please don't allow yourselves to see, read, hear, or overhear anything from any outside source about any aspect of this case. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and excuse me until tomorrow morning at 9.
All right.
So the jury's done. We're going to be done as well. There might be some more discussion today. I think defense really kicked the door open on that. Why didn't you investigate? Why didn't you search for a bittering agent in the drink? Prosecution got to go into all that other information, outside cases, previous poisonings. In other instances, in other states even, all got to be brought in that way, that they couldn't get to on direct.
Nothing I need or want to discuss for that matter. Had enough of all of you. But if any, does anybody need to discuss anything before we recess for the day?
No, thank you.
Very good. I'm joking, of course. Yes, you may take this. Thank you. There you go. And you take. I am going to watch the USB drive.
Judge, I do have one really quick thing.
Okay.
If the court is willing. Mr. Scully and I, and Mr. Narcos have spoken. I have a witness, Heather Harris, who, if she testifies, she asked if she could do it via Zoom. She had some travel difficulties, and then she has to be somewhere else on Monday of next week. So I did bring the issue up with Mr. Scully. I understand that the defense has a witness who has some health issues that might also be served by a Zoom. And when I say Zoom, I just mean any
remote WebEx
thing on the TV that could be any form of whatever we use.
Zoom, not a sponsor.
If just wanted to put that on the court's radar, I don't want to obviously don't want to delay anything more than absolutely necessary. I don't love Zoom for witnesses, but I do think with professional witnesses like experts like that, it's a little bit different, and I do think that it would keep the trial moving along and not delay us into Monday or Tuesday of next week with potential rebuttal witnesses or defense witnesses. So I just wanted to put on the court's radar to see if the parties are in agreement, then the court would allow it.
If the parties are in agreement, I will allow it. And because it's running to witnesses on both sides, perhaps it's something that you'll both agree to, given the nature of who the witnesses are. I generally would not allow Zoom over the objection of a party. I make a rare exception if I feel the defendant's due process rights would be deprived if a truly unavailable witness, except remotely, were not being permitted to testify because they couldn't be in person. But generally speaking, I like both sides to agree. And if they stand on their right to have the person in court, I'll generally honor that. But if you both agree, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll accommodate that.
We'll discuss.
We do have an agreement on that point, Judge.
Then you can both count on being able to do that, but you got to work with our courtroom expert on such matters, Ms. Draper.
I've already given them instructions on what they need to do or how to direct their witnesses to dial into the system, Your Honor, so we should be all set.
Okay.
Miss Draper
Then
wears
that's
a
fine.
cape in the evenings.
All right,
she is
very
the
good.
hero of the
We'll be in
courtroom.
recess until tomorrow morning.
Court, all rise.
All rise. There we go.
I gotta go. Can I give it to you tomorrow? I printed it for you. I
I
gave
just
you
don't
each
know
a
what I
copy.
did with it. I know you did, and I just don't know what I did with it. And,
Okay.
All right. And with that, we are done for the day for this trial. The judge, he said he's back in the pink, but he's still coughing up a lot. So not all the way better, but interesting. I'm not, Sarah, I'm not 60. I'm not 60. It's very important you know this. All right. I'm 49. 49 today. Yes, it is my birthday. Thank you very much. We've had 1 million people, just 1 million. I mean, chat has been full of people wishing me a happy birthday. I got my wish, and we didn't get the what defense wanted in today, and that for me is a great birthday wish. So thank you. Happiest of birthday. Thank you, all of you. Don't look a day over 65. You know, with friends like this, who needs? Man, I'm getting text messages from people I haven't seen in ages and ages. I don't know why the notification's just going out better this year. Because I have a birthday every year, but people I went to Wood Badge with way back in the day. Steve, shout out to you. My friend that I spent some time with over in England back in 96, 97. He just checked in with me. My mom checked in 2 o'clock in the morning as well. I'm going to enjoy my birthday. I was hoping to get some cake. Let's see if they have any. Hang on, let me ask real quick. Yeah, we're going to wait for just a minute. They're bringing something in for me, I think. Did I get Medicare Part D? I'm still not old enough, Greeners, but thank you for reminding me. I'll put that on my checklist for later. Hilda B., member for 16 months. Happy birthday, RA. Enjoy the rest of your day. Ooh. Ooh, okay. All right, they're currently frosting the cake. Caroline Foster, thank you very much. No smash cake. No, they're making it right now. Literally, it's ready. I'm betting you're a grandpa during the podcast. It triggers verdicts. Why not a birth? The podcast is on Thursday. We missed last week. It was terrible. Sad. Sorry. But Thomas will be back this week. We're going to be parents on Friday, or grandparents on Friday. Happy birthday in Dutch. Van hart gefeliciteerd. Feliciteerd. I don't know. I nailed it. First time. My Dutch is like on point. Today's 4-letter word is cake. Thank you, Greeners. I was confused about that. I had missed several of those vowels when we were playing Hangman earlier. Lara K's mama, thank you very much. Thank you. And by the way, I saw some of you have been rating my my Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. Thank you very much for your generosity. You guys are amazing. I think I owe Mrs. R.A. something as well. So she's like, she's amazing. We need a cake cam. We're working. I'm stalling just for a minute so they can bring it in. Do you know if you're going to have a grandson or granddaughter? Granddaughter. Yes. Yeah, but it's not my place to share the name. So what kind of cake do you like? I like yellow cake with milk chocolate frosting, upside down in a bowl with milk. The cake is soggy, sloppy goodness. It is so. I realize it's not appetizing. It doesn't look right. It's all a mess. It is so good. You've got to try it. You've got to try it. Yellow is the best flavor anyway.
Remember in the beginning when we started 110 years ago?
You could do a cake live. I think they're cutting it right now. Going to talk about old sailors on the podcast. No, there's a couple things. We might talk about Hannah Payne a little bit. Let's see. Mouth's watering just thinking about cake. So got a grandparent name yet, or just grandpa? Wildcats, I have learned I don't get to choose what I'm referred to as. Basically, it's a combination of the parents who choose and the child, the grandchild, who whatever they can pronounce. And there's somewhere in the middle. That's what I become. So I'm just waiting with bated breath to hear what fun insult will be my new nickname. No frosting. Yes, we're doing chocolate. But if you turn the bowl upside down, you have cake and milk everywhere. Yes, this is correct. I will demonstrate proper usage later, for sure. Only cupcakes for you. Yes. And the milk has to be cold. Definitely. I mean, we're talking like 36 degrees is perfect. How did you discover this method of eating cake? I inherited it from my father. Let me show you how this goes. This is the cake. Let's go full screen here. Okay. This is the cake. We'll do a good focus here. It's tender. It's double layer, chocolate in the middle, in a bowl. See the bowl? With milk. I have to pour this on my desk so it don't spill. You guys have a spoon? I'm gonna try really hard not to spill on everything.
Front of the Walmart.
All right. So about a cup's worth of milk. This is so good. Okay, first of all, you can't eat this with a goatee because it's the messiest food ever. But here we go. Anyway, just scoop a little bit off. The cake still holds its shape. It's like a sponge, but it's fully saturated with milk. And oh, that is good.
Happy birthday.
That's delicious.
You look good.
That is good. All right. All right. I'm going to continue eating here in just a minute. It's not gross. It's not gross. It is so good. No, Unhinged, I love you, but no. Cake dumpling. Illegal cake eating. Anyway, it's a tradition I've had since a kid. I love it. But it is cake soup. If you eat it carefully, the cake retains its shape. It doesn't just like crumble into a mess of like batter. Pentuflate, you're doing it right. You're drooling because it's that good. I do you. You do you. Yeah. Cake looks so good, but you destroyed it with that milk. No, Donna. Donna, this is my last of 8 gallons of milk this week. We saved it just for this very purpose. That being said, I have a couple things to do today. On my birthday, I get to go to the store and get a box to ship a computer. I just got a text from a friend of mine who's a lawyer, local, who's asking me to swing by his office to help him out with computers. And you have to use a spoon? Yes, just like cereal. Just like cereal. You request the happy birthday music. The happy birthday music is right here. I can eat cake to this. This is delicious. That is good. Josh, it's the only way to eat it, by the way. There we go. All right, I've got one call, and then we're going to wrap up here. Dog is confused by the birthday music.
Call from Melissa Kyer.
Hey, Melissa, this is Scott. How are you doing?
Scott.
How are you?
I'm good.
Wonderful. You're cutting out a little bit. I can't hear you very well.
On this trial, it's pretty good.
You're talking about the cake or the trial? Couldn't hear you very well.
Case.
Oh, the cake. Just kidding.
Am I late?
About
the case.
The case.
It's
Okay.
a cupcake.
Yes.
Cupcake.
And you said, and do you like the trial or what?
Yeah, this is not a good, but I wanted to let you know.
I'm hearing about every fifth
Let's
word,
see.
Melissa.
I'm sending you 3 packages. They're probably going to come on different days.
Okay.
I just want you to know they're from me.
All right. Are they ticking or leaking any fluids? Are they flammable? Any of that?
No, but they're very edible.
Okay. All right. Wonderful.
There's 3 different kinds of nuts coming, and one may not get there until April 6th.
Ooh. I will
Cashews.
wait with bated breath. Oh,
You like cashews?
Those are so good. Those are so good.
I know. There you go.
Well,
I've never sent you cashews.
No.
But anyway, I just wanted to tell you happy birthday. And this has been, I've been able to watch.
No. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
And I watched you and Mrs. R.A., and it was good.
We might have to do another because I have to do like 6 more by the end of the month. And then we'll make them all public as soon as it's over.
Well, I'll watch you. You got to do some only shows, right?
Yeah. They make me do 10 members only ones by the end of this month. So.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Good luck on your new grandbaby, and tell Mrs. R.A. you're going to love them to pieces.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Thank you. I appreciate the birthday wishes. I'll watch for the packages. Thank you. We'll see you. Bye-bye. I think her audio is cutting in and out. We got the gist of the conversation, though. I'm going to cram all 10 member streams into the 11 p.m. lunch hour, March 31st. Screeners, there's a lot of truth to that. But will RA ever stop eating viewer-supplied foods? There are some I'm not getting. There are some that are not good. I've had it sent to me a couple times, like the pickle-flavored cotton candy. No go. It is just, it's not good at all. So if I get any more of that, that's just, I'm going to find somebody who would be happy to try it because they don't know it's pickle flavored. But it's good. It's a really good cake, huh? In milk. This is the first. My son, oldest son at home, just tried cake in a bowl with milk for the first time in his life, and he's like, "Oh, this is the bomb." Not like the bad bomb, but like the good bomb. All right, I need to finish my cake. It's time. It's time for me to go. We're gonna play the music. Ari's gonna have to do a do-over on his cake disgrace eating. It's so good. You can do a 3D printed show and tell stream. Got all these ideas. We'll do a couple members chats or members live streams. Once they're all done, I'm going to make them all public. So if you aren't able to watch, I do apologize. We're trying to get YouTube to let me into a certain elite group, and once that happens, I can just make all of them public, so you'll get everything that everybody else got. So tonight, when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better. Please stay safe. We go live again tomorrow morning. This case is going to continue in the morning. We are 2 days away from the state resting. Defense right now is at least posturing, saying they're going to put on some witnesses. Don't know if that'll be the case. I think they will, though.
Remember
I think we're going to see some defense.
When we started 110 years ago?
110 years ago, Laura. Exactly to the day. Now I'm dying. All right.
Hello.
I'm going to finish this cake. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you very much for the birthday wishes. We'll see you.
Thank you very much.
There's nothing in the order that restrains you from talking to cats. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than all of us.
Because he's the guy.
Happy birthday. You look good.